With the presidential election drawing closer, the two contesting factions, the eight-party alliance and CPN-UML, have intensified their preparations. Now, even as the bench strength is in favor of the alliance candidate Ramchandra Podal, the UML candidate Subhash Chandra Nembang has also sounded confident ahead of the presidential election. Now, given the unpredictability of Nepali politics, analysts feel that a game-changing twist cannot be ruled out come March 9. Good evening, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Eight-party alliance says the president-elect should play the role of a guardian. UML's presidential candidate Nembang says his candidacy is for safeguarding of the constitution. CPN-UML claims its government will continue in Koshi province despite the change in political dynamics at the center. RPP holds the key for any change in government equation in Koshi. Cambodia's prominent opposition leader Kem Sokha sentenced to 27 years under house arrest on charges of treason. The US terms the verdict a miscarriage of justice. And Nepal chasing a victory target of 180 runs against Papua New Guinea at the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. Nepal made to work hard despite a low target. The eight-party alliance formed for the presidential election have expedited their training programs at the provinces. The training program organized by Nepali Congress is being participated by provincial assembly members of Nepali Congress alongside those of the CPN Maoist Center, CPN Unified Socialist, Janata Samajwadi Party, Loktantrik Samajwadi Party, Janamat, Nagarik Unmukti and Rashtriya Janamorcha. Congress officials are to address provincial assembly members of all eight parties. Meanwhile, a training program for provincial assembly members of Bagmati has been held in Baneshwar, Kathmandu. Another training program for the federal parliamentarians of the eight parties was held yesterday. The presidential election is slated for March 9, where Ramchandra Podal of Nepali Congress is up against Subhash Chandra Nembang of CPN-UML. A total of 882 voters, including 332 members of the House of Representatives and 550 of provincial assemblies, will cast their ballot. The members of the eight-party alliance have stressed on the need for the candidate elected to the designation of president of the country to play the role of a guardian in ensuring the implementation of the constitution and national prosperity. Addressing the training program organized by the eight-party alliance in Pokhara, speakers said that Ramchandra Podal had made significant contributions for democratic movements in the country and therefore Podal was a good choice for the country's third president-elect. General Secretary of CPN Maoist Center, Deb Gurung, said that efforts were made for a national consensus, but it had not materialized, which led to the formation of the eight-party alliance. He added that the unity among the eight parties would be continued even after the elections of the president and the vice president to protect political achievements, stability and to ensure development. Nepali Congress Vice President Dhanaraj Gurung said that the new alliance was not formed only for the presidential election, but to address issues of national interest. Gurung added that there were possibilities of addition of other parties in the alliance as well. Now, CPN-UML candidate for president Subhash Chandra Nembang has said that his candidacy was appropriate for protection and implementation of the constitution. He said that he was confident of his victory on this ground. In an interview with the Rashtriya Samachar Samiti, the national news agency, Nembang said that the challenges and experiences of the two previous presidents were lessons for him. Nembang said that Nepal had a good constitution, but added that complications have been surfacing because of lack of understanding. Nembang also said that he had received a positive feedback from the public. He added that if elected the president, Nembang would operate as guided by the constitution and the laws of the nation to play the role of a guardian for protection of the national charter and strengthen national unity. Saying that a president could assist the government and the country, Nembang assured of playing an active role. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Physical Infrastructure and Transport, Narayan Kazi Shrestha, has stressed on the need for national consensus among the political parties. Inaugurating the Dolakha festival, which began in Charikot today, Minister Shrestha said that the nation was going through a complicated situation, adding that there was no alternative to a national consensus. He further said that consensus among the political parties was imperative on issues of public significance to institutionalize political achievements and to ensure national development. Minister Shrestha said that development works had failed to gain momentum because of poor status of capital expenditure. He also claimed that results would begin to appear soon as the government was working in an organized way. Even as the political equation in the centre has changed, CPN-UML has claimed that its government will continue in Koshi province. A change in Koshi province government is unlikely until the coalition of CPN-UML and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, which has existed from before the election, disintegrates. Despite the recent political developments and change in political equation at the centre, it is not likely to have any impact in the government of Koshi. As CPN Centre and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party have decided not to withdraw support to the Koshi government at the moment, political crisis has not been averted for the moment. In the 93-member Provincial Assembly, the support of 47 Provincial Assembly members is required for the government. The new alliance led by Nepali Congress has 47 members. Babu Ram Gautam of CPN Centre, a member of the alliance, is the Speaker of the Provincial Assembly. In any issue where votes tie in the Provincial Assembly, the Speaker makes the decisive call. However, the new government is not likely to receive a trust vote in absence of any member, which would eliminate the possibility of a tie where the Speaker is not allowed to vote. This means the UML-led government is not likely to topple anytime soon until Rashtriya Prajatantra Party decides to support the new alliance. Koshi Chief Minister Hikmat Kumar Karki has also claimed that the government does not face any threat at the moment. The Koshi government has the support of 60 members, including 40 of CPN-UML, 13 of CPN Centre, 6 from Rashtriya Prajatantra Party and 1 from Janata Samajwadi Party. Meanwhile, the opposition includes 33 members with 29 of Nepali Congress and 4 of the CPN Unified Socialist. Deputy Prime Minister Narayan Kazi Shrestha is heading to Qatar today to participate in the 5th United Nations Conference on the Least Developed Countries. Deputy Prime Minister Shrestha, who is also the Minister for Physical Infrastructure, will be leading the Nepali delegation to the 5-day conference in Doha. The team is scheduled to depart for Doha this evening. Along with Deputy Prime Minister Shrestha, Vice Chairperson of the National Planning Commission, Meen Bahadur Shrestha, Parliamentarian Jitendra Narayan Dev, among others, are in the Nepali delegation. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal had also made preparations to attend the LDC conference. However, the itinerary was changed, taking into consideration the upcoming presidential election. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, why do the contractors fail to complete construction of roads and bridges within the deadline? Your options are A, low tender bid, B, lack of monitoring, and C, work-related obstructions. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It has been held in Gaighat, Udaipur against the naming of Province 1 as Koshi. With the demand of naming the province Kirat on the basis of identity, a group of Kirat Rai Yayokha community has protested the decision of the Provincial Assembly. The entity has also warned of further protest programs. It has also said that Kirat word did not just represent the ethnicity, but the geography and civilization as well. Koshi has witnessed sporadic protest ever since the province was named Koshi, as ethnic groups have cited that the name does not reflect the ethnicity of Province 1. The Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal has said that Nepal is an appropriate destination for Ayurveda, a Hindu indigenous medical science. Addressing the 7th International Ayurveda Congress, which began in Kathmandu today, Prime Minister Dahal said that the government was committed to proceed by prioritizing Ayurveda. Saying that Nepal was a natural land for Ayurveda with abundant herbs including Yasha Gumba, Prime Minister Dahal added that Singhadarbar had been prioritizing Ayurveda medicine through its Vaidyakhana. The Prime Minister also called that Nepal's Ayurveda capabilities and prospects required promotion. He also viewed that climate change had begun impacting Nepal's Ayurveda sector and also identified the need to address the issue. The election procedure of the Free Students' Union has begun today. Student wings wanting to participate in the Free Students' Union elections slated for March 19 were required to register themselves by 3 p.m. today. Based on the schedule, the list of voters is to be published on March 5. Documents for candidacies are to be distributed on March 10, while candidacies are to be registered a day later. The Tribhuvan University is preparing to hold elections in 62 constituent and more than 1,000 affiliated campuses. 6 years ago, the university had held elections in only 26 campuses. Focus on organization aspect has been on the decline, as the student leaders have also been prioritizing power like leaders of the parties they are affiliated to. Bagmati Province Chief Minister Shalik Ram Jamakhatel has said that the security departments had to prioritize public security. Addressing an interaction program related to wildlife and wildfire in Hetauda, Chief Minister Jama Khatel said that officials of the security departments had to be in the front line regarding public safety and security. Saying that the officials of the security department and national parks had to be on the front line when wild animals entered human settlements, Chief Minister Jama Khatel also urged them to be in the front line. 2 persons were killed because of the attack of wild elephants in Makwanpur in the past 2 weeks, while another person was injured. The victims have protested against loan sharks and microfinances in Janakpur Dham, saying that groups of women were formed by making several promises but were financially abused. The struggle committee against loan sharks has protested in Janakpur Dham. With the demand of waiving their loans, the struggle committee held a protest rally which traversed through the district court, high court, district police office and the district administration office before circling the office of the chief minister and the council of ministers. It is now time for the international news. Cambodia's most prominent opposition leader has been sentenced to 27 years under house arrest for treason. Kem Sokha, the former leader of the now dissolved Cambodian National Rescue Party, has also been barred from standing or voting in elections. He was accused of conspiring with foreign powers to overthrow Prime Minister Hun Sen's government. Hun Sen is one of the world's longest-serving autocrats who has been in power since 1985. Cambodia will hold a general election in July. Most expect he will run again, although some believe he is planning to hand over power to his eldest son, Hun Manet. Kem Sokha, who was 69, was first arrested in 2017 based on a 2013 video where he said he had received support from US pro-democracy groups. Sokha and his lawyers have denied the charges and said the case against him was baseless. Meanwhile, Patrick Murphy, the US ambassador to Cambodia, said that the case was a miscarriage of justice. Kem Sokha's lawyer, Ang Udom, said his legal team would appeal against the verdict. Human rights groups and Western governments have condemned the charges against him as unfounded and politically motivated. His party was banned ahead of a 2018 election. Most of its leaders have either been prosecuted or forced into exile. Russia has today said it would take measures to prevent new border incursions a day after accusing Ukraine-backed nationalists of killing 2 people in a cross-border raid in southern Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Russia had been hit by a terrorist attack in the southern Bryansk region bordering Ukraine and vowed to crush what he said was a Ukrainian sabotage group that had fired at civilians. A Ukrainian presidential advisor accused Russia of staging the incident as a false provocation to justify aggression against Ukraine. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters that additional measures were being taken to protect the border. The FSB security service released video and photos of Thursday's incident showing 2 shot-up cars where their drivers slumped dead inside. Putin is holding a regular meeting of his Security Council today. The United States and South Korea conducted a combined air drill with at least one American B-1B long-range bomber and South Korean F-15K and KF-16 fighter aircrafts, South Korea's Ministry of Defense has said in a statement. The aim was to practice coordination as well as to demonstrate American extended deterrence against North Korean threats, the ministry has added. Earlier in the day, the allies announced that they would conduct large-scale joint military drills, which would include amphibious landings from March 13 to 23 in exercises dubbed Freedom Shield. Past drills have drawn sharp reactions from North Korea, including missile launches and nuclear threats. Pyongyang has said such military operations are proof that Washington and its allies are hostile. A SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule arrived safely at the International Space Station after a brief delay early, carrying 2 US astronauts, a Russian cosmonaut and a United Arab Emirates astronaut on a 6-month science mission. The autonomously flying spacecraft, dubbed Endeavour, docked with the International Space Station shortly after 1:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time of US, about 25 hours after launching from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. The coupling was confirmed as the ISS and capsule flew in tandem at 28,164 kilometers an hour, about 420 kilometers above Earth across the coast of East Africa, according to a live NASA webcast of the rendezvous. The latest crew was led by Stephen Bowen, who is 59, a veteran of 3 space shuttle flights and 7 spacewalks. Fellow NASA astronaut Warren Woody Hoberg was 37 on his first space flight. The Crew 6 mission was notable for its inclusion of UAE astronaut Sultan Al Neyadi, who is 41, the second person from his country to fly to space and the first to launch from US soil as part of a long-duration space station team. Rounding out the 4-man Crew 6 was Russian cosmonaut Andrei Fedyaev, who is 42, who, like Al Neyadi, is a spaceflight rookie. It is now time for the sports news.
Sports news.
Team Nepal are chasing a victory target of 180 runs against Papua New Guinea at the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. In the match at Dubai International Stadium, Papua New Guinea elected to bat after winning the toss. The PNG innings got off to a sedate start as the two openers, Tony Ura and Kipling Doriga, added 42 runs for the opening wicket. Doriga was the first to go after scoring 26. Tony Ura top scored for PNG with 39 runs. The other notable run scorer for the PNG was Hiri Hiri, who scored 31. Sompal Khami and Dipendra Singh Aide were the most successful bowlers for Nepal with 2 wickets each. Sandeep Lamichhane, Karan Kesey and Kushal Malla shared a wicket apiece. Chasing a modest target, Nepal have found the going tough as Kushal Vurthel departed in the very first ball he faced. Nepal lost the wickets in regular intervals as opener Asif Sheikh held the innings together with a well-compiled half-century. When the report last reached us, Nepal have scored 162 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. So these are the live visuals from the match which is underway in the United Arab Emirates. Nepal have so far scored 148 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in 42.2 overs. The 8th wicket partnership between Sandeep Lamichhane and Asif Sheikh has revived Nepal's chances. Asif Sheikh is unbeaten at 72 and on the strike, while giving some good company is Lamichhane with 17 from 32 balls. A brand new season of the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League has begun today. Kumaltar Youth Club are currently playing Friends Club in the inaugural match of the domestic top flight. The match, which is underway at the Dashrath Stadium in Tripureshwar, kicked off at 5:30 p.m. Newly promoted side Kumaltar are making their maiden A-Division League appearance with the match and are aiming for their first victory. Meanwhile, Friends Club, coached by Urjan Shrestha, had struggled to avoid relegation last season and are planning to finish mid-table. Coach of Manang Morshangdi club, Kiran Shrestha, has identified a top 4 finish as the club's target, while Tribhuvan Army have considered themselves as title contenders. Machindra and Himalayan Sherpa club did not attend the pre-tournament press conference held at the Anfa complex in Sadabato yesterday. Defending champions Machindra begin their season with a clash against Jawlakhel Youth Club on Sunday. With other new entrants, Kumaltar and Church Boys, the tournament includes 14 teams, while the matches are to be played in the Dashrath Stadium, Chassel Ground and the Anfa complex. The A-Division League is the largest platform for Nepali footballers to display their talent and potential and make way to the national team. Meanwhile, winners of the league will receive 7.5 million rupees in cash prize, where the runners-up will walk away with 5 million rupees. Nepal Under-19 cricket team, which has qualified for the next year's ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup, are returning home this evening. Nepal defeated the United Arab Emirates and were crowned the champions of the Asia region qualifiers, which secured their spot at the Under-19 World Cup. According to the Cricket Association of Nepal CAN, members of the age group sides are arriving home this evening. Officials of the National Cricket Governing Body, CAN, are welcoming the team. Under-19 team had defeated the UAE by 7 runs in the match yesterday, which saw them qualify for the ICC Under-19 World Cup, which will be held in Sri Lanka next year. Nepal had lost the toss and were put to bat, where they posted a target of 192 runs. In reply, the UAE were balled out for 185 as Deepesh Kardil picked a hat-trick in the 48th over. Team Nepal are to play in the Age Group World Cup for the first time since 2016. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 10:30 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.